Here we go, boys. Day's racing at Southport. Let's do this. Do or die. Here we go, boys. Running at Southport, running the four-wheel drive. Here's the track. Down the straight. Throttle it around that right-hander. Over the back section, round. Over the tabletop. Around this section of curves. And down for another lap. The Associated four-wheel drive running 6.5 motor. Hopefully we do alright, should be a good day. And here's who we're racing against. We have got Richard on pole, Mick second, Steve third, Adrian fourth, Daniel's in fifth, me in sixth, Mike seventh, Carl in eighth, James in ninth. Keep an eye out for Carl, he's just got himself an L1R, making adjustments to it, getting help from the Schumacher boys. It's always good to get a helping hand from fellow drivers who know what they're doing. But yeah, let's jump straight into practice, see if we can improve as the day progresses. Let's do this. Into practice with the four-wheel drive. So first thing I noticed was just how much traction I've got on the front. Bit of an Achilles heel with this Associated. It tends to have a lot of grip on the front end and it's quite hard to dial it out, but I'm sure it's all about tuning them shocks. But over we go, over the tabletop, run a bit deep. So just to see what type of lap time we're setting. You can see the car's a bit skittish. Looks like it's about to throw its arse over, and here we go. Lap 4 was the 24.40. Oh boys, that was tough. Got some serious battle scars. Didn't enjoy that traction rolling. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to dial it out. A lot of steering on the front. It's either the suspension's too stiff on the rear, or there's too much grip on the front. Yeah. Anyway, it's only practice. See how we get on in qualifying. So here we go. Let's take a look at the lap time. It's always hard when you're racing against four-wheel drive drivers. Tend to be quite experienced, but fastest guy was 22.62 and I got a 24.40. So basically 2 seconds off the fastest guy. Not much in it between first and third. They're pretty much the guys that are expected to be at the front, so they'll pretty much be dominating all day. Aging speed, done well there to get fourth quickest with a fastest lap of 24.14 and I got a fastest lap of 24.40. Right boys, I've moved the shocks in. Hopefully that'll stiffen the front up a little bit. Feels a little bit stiffer, and I've put less grip on the rear, put a bit worn tyres on the rear. So yeah, I think it's just the nature of the beast. It's always very grippy at Southport. And here we go guys, about to jump into qualifying one with the four-wheel drive. Hopefully we do better than we did in practice. Had a bit of traction roll, made a few adjustments to the car. Body's took a bit of a beating, so the piping kind of cut right into it. But yeah, hey ho, on to qualifying round one. So here we go, let's see if we can improve down the straight. Nice speed out of that 6.5 motor. Still very much learning in this car. Happy with it though. It's kind of like a bit of a tank, not as finesse, not as much as a beautiful Swan as the L1R, but yeah, you know where you are with it. So here we go. So previous best was a 24.40 and this one we got a 23.81, so knocked about a second off. That was a lot better with the four-wheel drive, boys. Rule of the day, don't be lazy in the pits, work on your car. Yeah boys. Yeah, so Lady Luck definitely left the light on for me for that one. We've got Richard was quickest with 18 laps and a fastest lap of 21.93. Mick was second with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 22.24. I was third with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.31. Adrian was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.36. Mike was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 22.76. Steve was sixth with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.08. Carl was seventh with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.85. Daniel was 8th with 8 laps and a fast lap of 26.16, and James Burgess did not run. Here we go guys, just about to jump into qualifying 2 with the four-wheel drive. Didn't do too well in practice, made a few changes, done alright in qualifying 1. See how we get on in qualifying 2. Yep, so let's see how we get on, sending it down the straight, giving it a little brakes, a little bit of breakage into that right-hander, taking it nice and steady. Sometimes being a bit cautious gives you extra speed, so things like that don't happen. But yeah, going to lose a few tenths here, so I don't think we're going to beat our previous best. But sun's starting to show its face. getting the car a little bit more dialed in, getting used to it. So the previous best lap was a 23.31 and this one was a 23.49. So we didn't improve, but overall happy with that. So yeah, Mick was first with 13 laps and a fast lap of 22.77. Steve was second with 13 laps and a fast lap of 23.12. I was third again with 12 laps and a fast lap of 23.49. Mike was fourth with 12 laps and a fast lap of 22.67. Carl was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 24.43. Daniel was sixth with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 27.08. Richard was seventh with 7 laps and a fastest lap of 21.90. Adrian was eighth with 7 laps and a fastest lap of 23.90. And James, I don't think he's going to take part in the qualifying, but he will dominate the final. Yeah, boys, another good result. Third and 4-wheel drive. Got to be happy with that. Yeah. Bit surprising really, because it feels awful while I'm out there. Really hard to drive, really struggling getting it round without traction rolling it, but them changes are made an improvement. So here we go, on to qualifying round 3 next. So qualifying round 3, here we go, sending it down that lovely long Southport straight round this twisty section. See if we can get it right over the tabletop this time. There's a bit of a spike here that I was hitting on them cobblestones. There's something I was hitting, but my car is pretty much on its arse at the front, so I need to work on that for next time I'm at Robin Hood in August. Round we go. So previous best was a 23.49 and this was a 23.03, so we knocked about 4 tenths off. And here we go, guys, qualifying 3. Wasn't a great result. Yeah, a few too many mistakes, but we've done alright. Still finishing alright. Hopefully we can get a good spot in the final. So it's on to qualifying round 4 next. So here we go, results from qualifying round 3. We had Richard first with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 21.96. Mick Townsend was second with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.20. Steve was third with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.44. Adrian was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.81. I was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.03. Carl was sixth with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24 bang on. Daniel was seventh with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 25.70, and the last 2 cars did not run. Here we go, guys, qualifying round 4 with the 4-wheel drive. We didn't do too well in qualifying 3. We come 5th, but hopefully we can improve for qualifying round 4. Last round of qualifying, then it's the finals. Then that'll be another day over. Good race all in all. Started well. Going a bit, losing my mojo a bit now, like. So here we go, last qualifying of the day. Let's see if we can improve, sending it down the straight. Looking tight with that tricky section. Got to get your lines, try and thread it through the middle like a needle. Around we go over the tabletop. Doing alright on the tabletop, nice landing. This little bump here can catch you out. Got another little bump here, and then this little one. On we go. So previous best was the 23.03 and this was slightly slower with the 23.13. What a great start, boys, with the 4-wheel drive. I actually missed the start. Too busy texting me ma, seeing if she wanted to go to the pub. Yeah, take her out on a Sunday, get the old lady out, like. So yeah, missed the start, but we still managed a decent result. So not all things are lost. On to the finals next. Do or die. Yeah, so here we go with the results, see where we place. So Richard was first with 14 laps and a fastest lap of 21.62. Steve was second with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.84. Mick was third with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 22.41. I was fourth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.13. Adrian was fifth with 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.98. Daniel was sixth with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.99. Carl was seventh with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 23.88. James was eighth with 7 laps and a fastest lap of 21.84, and Mike Ward, who must have had problems, didn't run. And here we go, it is a very rare time I will actually be in an A final, but we are up against Richard on pole, Mick is in second, Steve is third, I'm quite an impressive fourth, I'm happy with that. Adrian is in fifth, Mike Ward, who didn't run through a few of the races, in sixth, so he might be coming through the pack. Got Carl in seventh, Daniel in 8th, and James Burgess, like I said, starting at the back of the pack, but will be charging through the field. Yeah, so sometimes chasing the clock's a lot more fun, but here we go, straight into the final, and we have an incident in the first corner, so that's going to knock us back a little bit. Unfortunately, we haven't got the timing clock, because there was only four rounds running this day, so we didn't really have time to go back to the pits after running 2 cars. Someone's just had a big coming together there with one of the pipes. Thinks that was Carl. Hopefully this Carl survived. What I remember about this race, we have a bit of an untidy first few laps. So the first lap is the 26.98. I've got Andy Hall on commentary. So yeah, traction rolling a bit, giving it a bit too much beans. Hopefully we'll settle down. We do settle down and it ends up not too bad. So yeah, just gonna, tracks are settling down now, cars are spreading out. Get it wrong on that corner, that's purely my fault. Keeping Marshall on number 4 very busy. I was on number 4 and I ended up with post-traumatic stress disorder through sitting watching the cars come at you over that tabletop. But it's all in jest and it's all a lot of fun. So yeah, get it wrong again there, so that's really going to send me down the pack. But hopefully get my mojo back. Lap 2 was a 30.91. I think that might be Carl to send it over the tabletop. Marshall 4 is being kept very busy. Hopefully now I've got a clear track around me, I can start settling down. Time to go. Lap 3 is a 29.78. Not my fastest lap though by a long run. Hopefully we'll start getting to the groove.
Carl, that's the leader.
The leaders are already...
So James Burgess from back of the grid up to first.
There you go, James Burgess charging through the field. So yeah, round we go.
So it's James from Steve Compton from Mick Townsend. Mick seriously chasing down Steve.
Nearly take a Marshall out.
3,
get it wrong.
2, 1,
Marshall's held up.
4, 8.
It's kind of a game of Russian roulette, this racing like. Cars crashing out everywhere, someone's waiting because they've took someone out, gets it a bit wrong.
Steve's stuck in a bit of traffic
All
here,
cars
got away with
together.
it there. And Mick's had a little team together. Lads, just keep an eye on the cars.
But, you know, do or die.
If they're lapping you, move out the way.
Not over till the fat lady sings. Round we go. Managed to get past the car there. Nice overtake. I think that's Carl, the red and yellow car. The tabletop.
Steve was ahead of James for the moment there.
On our wheels. We're kind of racing against Carl now. That car just behind. See if we can try and start pulling away. Now things have settled down. Had a bit of adrenaline rush from racing the 2-wheel drive. Overdriving it. Always inexperienced, you tend to overdrive. The more miles you have under your belt, the more calm you are. So it's all a learning curve. Round we go. Over this little bump. Starting to settle down now, getting the low 20s, middle 20s, sorry. So lap 7's my fastest lap of the race so far for me, which was the 23.43.
Driving like his distant cousin Paul Crompton.
There we go.
Really putting the pressure on James Burgess here.
Over these cobbles. Need to do some tuning to the car, get that front suspension set up a little bit better. I think the oils are right, it feels right, there's just not much travel in the front. So I need to adjust that. I'm kind of like concentrating solely on my 2-wheel drive before this race. So we've done alright with the 2-wheel drive though. We pretty much dominated qualifying apart from one incident, but get it very wrong. That wooden board is there for a good reason.
The wooden board
8 is 24.44.
9, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 8.
Yeah, so towards the middle of the pack at the moment. See if we can charge, make up some spaces, or luckily. So we're suffering with traction roll pretty much all day. Very grippy track at Southport.
So
the amount of speed these cars carry.
From Mick Townsend from Steve Compton with 30 seconds left on the clock.
That 10 is a 25.64. Go around these cobbles. Marshall number 4 wincing every time someone comes flying over that tabletop. There we go. Lap 11 is a 24.07, decent lap. There's someone lapping me. Look how quick he's going with. I don't think I've got the skill level to drive that quick. There we go, every corner is perfect. think that might be James, he's driving a Lossy.
So it's James from Mick Townsend from Rich Deering from Steve Thompson.
9.
On lap 12 is a 26.92. So on to the results. James Bay just won it with 14 laps and a fastest lap of 21.59. Not bad considering he started at the back of the pack. Second was Mick, 13 laps, fastest lap 21.73. Richard was third with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 21.80. Steve was fourth with 13 laps and a fastest lap of 22.27. I was fifth, 12 laps and a fastest lap of 23.43. Adrian was sixth with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 23.74. Daniel was seventh with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.46. Carl was eighth with 11 laps and a fastest lap of 24.04. And Mike Ward must have retired, so unfortunately he did not get a result. But anyway guys, as always, thanks very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you please consider giving me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah.